Hello world, family, friends, fans. Welcome. I am D-Dot, and me and Cherry Boy on behalf of the Wacky Deli staff would like to welcome you to the first ever Wacky Deli discussion topic. And the discussion topic question is, does giving head make you a whore? Is it a whore trait? And is it demeaning to you if you give it to your spouse or your husband? Now, I would like to answer this question and say that it can go two ways, and it all depends on how long you've known the person. If you've known the person and been in a solid relationship with this person from 6 months to a year, or 2 years or 3 years, and you decide to try it just once or just in general, that makes it fine to me. You know, I have no problem with that. But if you've only known the person for a day or a week or a couple of hours, that is what's gonna make you seem like a whore in the male's mind, because that's what whores do. They're known for giving it up fast and easy with no strings attached, etc. So if you do it to a person and then they stop calling you back, stop texting you back, just excommunicating you, then you are seeming like a whore in that male's mind. You know? Now, I don't think giving oral sex to your spouse is being a whore, because you know you're behind closed doors, and whatever behind closed doors is your business, you know, especially if you're married, because you've made that full-on commitment to someone and you have the right to do whatever you please to that person and not be judged. You haven't made that full commitment to someone, so you don't know as much about the person as you think you do. So if you're not married, people might classify you more as a whore if you do acts like this without being married, you know. So I don't think it's a specific whore trait, because you know whores do a lot of things. You know, whores wash their face and brush their teeth. If you do those things, does that make you a whore? No, absolutely not. It all depends on what you do and how you perceive yourself as a woman and as an individual. Is how the male is gonna accept you.
Well, after hearing D-Dot's points, I have a different take on things. For me, I think giving head is a whore-like trait, because if you think about it, if you look at all the girls that you know who give head and perform oral sex, most of the time they might not be whores, but they're girls who don't, you know, value themselves, who, you know, are a little bit more loose than others. So, in my opinion, yes, giving head is a whore-like trait. Now, with that being said, do I think it's degrading to let your spouse / soulmate, who you've been with for a really long time, who you're in love with, do I think that's degrading and putting them down to allow them to do that? Yes, I do, because I look at it like this. Like, that person is like the wifey, like that's number one. Like, she's supposed to be like up on a pedestal. So anything them whores would do, she shouldn't be doing that, because that's like, you know, the wifey. Like, she's supposed to get the finer things in life. So, you know, little Shaniqua from down the street who just slopped you up real quick, you know, you wouldn't want your wife to do that, because whatever she does is, you know, is something that a person like her would do, something like a hoe would do. So I wouldn't want my spouse to do that to me, and that's my personal opinion, because it's just a double standard. It's just one of those things that's a double standard, you know. It's like girls can call each other cute, but guys can't, you know. To me, oral sex is something that's associated as a whore-like act, and that's just what I think.
They be like, you know, it's a whole thing to do. But that's the thing, though. The only difference is the hoes get their business out there. I mean, of course, it's the less intimate thing. Like, it's the least of all things you do. It's like, it has no intimacy at all. But, you know, it always means more by the, you know, the fact that your lover's doing it.
Really?
Rather than getting it from Shaniqua down the street.
So what you're saying is that giving head, if your girlfriend gives you head, it's a symbol of love.
I mean, I'm saying it can be, but I'm just saying that there's a difference between, you know, between hoes and ladies. But people do it to everybody.
That's an interesting twist that you put on that. So it's not even a whole like trait.
I'm just saying, you know, like, still, you know, you can, like, ladies could do that, as long as, you know, ladies do that. The only difference is the ladies keep their mouth shut. They don't go around saying I give head.
You're right. So, basically, in conclusion, what you're saying is oral sex is not a whole like trait and it's not degrading if you let your spouse do it to you.
I don't think so at all. I'm saying, if you're not getting it from your spouse, then, you know, we're gonna keep it real here. I'm putting out my business. I'm just saying, you know, head, guys love head. It's amazing.
You're right.
So, you know, rather than get it from Shaniqua down the street and be cheating, why don't you just get it from your spouse?
That is a very good and valid point.
And then, you know, if you give her them head, you know, you might as well give you head too. So that's a two-way tie thing.
I feel you. That was some good points there. I respect that. I can take that. You might have changed my opinion on that topic just a little. Like, maybe it has to do with the kind of environment that I grew up in, because for me,
nigga, we grew up in this.
We didn't grow up in the same environment.
Nigga, grew up in the same place. Like, what are you talking about?
Alright, well then you should be able to relate it. Exactly. So you should be able to relate that the girls who give head are known or associated with being hoes.
No, I think that's just a common stereotype that is very misjudged.
I see. Well,
there's nothing wrong with pleasing your man. There's nothing wrong with pleasing your man at all. If your man likes head, then hey, as long as you're not giving it to everybody, you don't do it with anything. Isn't that what makes it more intimate? You wouldn't just get it from anybody, and you just wouldn't do it. Well, the girl wouldn't give it to anybody. She'd only do it to you, so in a way that kind of makes it more intimate.
That is true. I agree on that. I think you guys have made me have a change of heart. I changed my mind. I agree with you guys. So,
you have to look at it this way, like, when you get married, when you tie that knot, are you not gonna let your wife skip you down? Does that mean once you get married, you never gonna get down again?
Hell no.
Exactly, so, you want to get it from somewhere, because when that wife get on her period, what you gonna do? You gonna beat your meat?
Nah, I'll pass on that.
I'd like for everybody to listen to, everybody to go to thewackydelly.blogspot.com, 820 this Friday, 820 2010, 820, 820, 820. Yeah. So, I guess checking in, I would like to shout out all my fans,
Like you have any?
I'd like to give a shout out to, my cousin Patrick, cousin Duff,
Alright, this ain't the radio, bro.
I'd like to give a shout out to all them ladies that, love pleasing their man. They ain't hoes, they just like pleasing their man. They just do it because, they like to please their man.
Alright, so, with all that being said, it's time for you guys to tell us what you think. So, leave your comments and state your opinions and, give us y'all's thought on the topic. Is giving oral sex a whore-like trait? And is it degrading if you allow your spouse to perform it on you?